the missing school diary. I never thought a random discovery in an abandoned classroom could change my life. That day, I stayed late after school to help the librarian, Miss West, sort through old books. We were cleaning out the storage room filled with forgotten textbooks, notes, and even diaries left behind by students over the years. Among the clutter, I found a thin notebook wrapped in a tattered leather cover. On the title page, it read, "The Diary of Lucas Barrow, 1976. I had never heard that name before. A strange feeling washed over me, like I'd found something I wasn't supposed to. I opened the diary and started reading. Lucas was 15, just like me. His entries began as typical school notes, stories about friends, classes, and sports. But the further I read, the stranger the entries became. One page read, "I think someone's watching me. In classroom 206, I heard strange rustling sounds. But when I turned around, no one was there. The teachers say I'm imagining things, but I know something's not right." Classroom 206. I immediately remembered it was on the old floor of the school, which had been closed for years. When I mentioned this to Miss West, she gave me a strange look. "Don't go up there. That floor's been sealed off since the 80s. It's covered in dust and cobwebs," she said. But as soon as she turned away, I decided to check it out myself. That evening, I went up to the old floor when the school was nearly empty. The lights didn't work, so I brought a flashlight. The door to classroom 206 was locked, but the rusty lock looked weak. Using a ruler, I managed to pry it open. Inside, everything was covered in a thick layer of dust. Old desks, a broken chalkboard, and books scattered on the floor. The silence was so heavy it made my ears ring. As I explored the room, something caught my eye. On one of the desks lay a sheet of paper. It definitely wasn't there when I walked in. On the paper were strange symbols drawn in ink. I didn't know what they meant, but I felt they were somehow connected to Lucas's diary. Back home, I opened the diary again. The entries were becoming more unsettling. I found a drawing on the desk. These symbols seem alive. They change when I look at them. Today, I heard a voice, someone whispering my name. I don't want to go back to that classroom, but something keeps pulling me there. The more I read, the more uneasy I felt. The last entry was brief. "I don't think this is a school. It's something else. If you find this, leave. Don't make my mistake." The diary ended there. The next day, I told my friend Mike about the diary. He loved mysteries and was immediately hooked. "Maybe it's just someone's made-up story," he suggested. "Then how do you explain the paper with the symbols?" I countered. We decided to go back to classroom 206 together. This time, we found even more strange things. Textbooks with scratched-out names and one desk covered in claw marks, as if someone had been carving into it. When we got closer, I saw a single wall. Under one of the desks, we found an old trapdoor. After struggling to open it, we descended into the basement, the hidden room. The basement was cramped and dark. Pages with the same strange symbols were scattered across the floor. In one corner stood a broken chair, and next to it lay a faded backpack with a name tag, Lucas Barrow. As soon as I touched the backpack, a cold wind swept through the basement and the candles flickered. A glowing figure of a teenage boy appeared before us. "You found my diary," the figure said softly. "You need to finish what I couldn't." We stood frozen in fear, but the figure continued. "The symbols are a key. They'll open a door and let me move on." We gathered the scattered pages and pieced them together like a puzzle. When the final piece was in place, the symbols began to glow, and a warm light filled the room. Lucas stepped into the light, his form fading. "Thank you," he said before disappearing. After that night, all the strange occurrences stopped. The diary became an ordinary notebook, and the school was quiet once more. Mike and I donated the diary to the local history museum, ensuring Lucas's story would not be forgotten. That experience changed me forever. Sometimes, as I pass by the old classroom 206, I feel a faint warmth and smell the faint scent of candles. A gentle reminder that even in the darkest mysteries, there is a chance to bring light.